Prototype testing is kind of a service that we do for small businesses and individuals who come up with various projectile designs and they want us to film it with a high-speed camera. These designs come from all over the world, Russia, Australia, and some from the United States even. Now tests like these are normally never seen by the public, but we thought it'd be fun to bring you along. You may remember the original heavy hitter slugs that we tested several years ago. Well, Jerry Lindquist has continued his design changes and has come up with this mini heavy hitter with a steel ball. It's about a 10mm steel ball mounted in the nose of it. These don't even have an official name yet, that's how new they are, but Warwolf Ordnance sent us these samples to test out, and that's what we're going to do today. Now, even though these are called mini heavy hitters, they're still pretty heavy for a 12 gauge slug, weighing in at 38 grams, 1.35 ounces, or just around 10 grains lighter than the massive Brennecke Black Magic slug, which weighs in at about 600 grains. But all this is loaded into one of these mini shells for increased capacity.
Okay, this is Remington 870. Is it going to chamber?
Look at that.
Chambered just fine.
Chambered just
Will
fine.
it eject?
Well, certainly
Ejects just
it did.
fine. Now it's all dirty. Dang
It's
it.
all right.
And just for fun, and because so many people asked to see this, we're going to load one of these into these old Russian steel case shells and test that out too.
Calculator folks, with so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Jeff and me, the OG. Today we're out here with you, a little mini shell here sent to us by Kip up at Warwolf. Remember, Warwolf is the coolest shotgun ammo name on the internet. Well, Warwolf in Idaho sent these down, little mini shell, and it's a finned lead slug. Jeff's probably shown you this on the tabletop by now.
Yeah.
And many of you have probably complained that I'm saying the exact same thing that Jeff's already said, but that's for you guys who skip around.
You got to give people something to complain about.
Of course you do.
You know?
Or else it would be...
There would be no comment section.
Exactly.
People like, cool, bro.
Everything was perfect in your video. I wish I could give it 2 thumbs up. All right, so these little finned lead slugs here, look like little rifled slugs, actually carry a little steel ball in the center. So they are not just a 1 ounce slug, they're about a 1 1/3 ounce,
Yeah.
roughly, give or take. So
38 grams to be precise.
we're gonna
You're
try
in the
these
caution
things
edge.
out. We're gonna try these things out for accuracy. We're gonna try them out for how much energy they deliver downrange. Warwolf wants to make sure these things are viable out of different types of shotguns. They wanted us to test them so that they could see whether or not they're gonna be marketable for you and I. We're going to try them out of a fully rifled barrel today. We've got the old standard Smoothbore, and Jeff might roll in some video here. We shot them out of a the Beretta 1301 semi-automatic.
Okay, rapid fire, 2 rounds.
Okay, I'm holding the shotgun down using Ziga's grip clamp C.
Oh, okay,
Ziga watches you from
Does he?
Slovenia.
okay.
Polinar Tactical.
I'm ready.
Here we go, as fast as we can. Woo, boy, that's hot.
Cycled pretty well.
Yeah, first one went where I wanted it to, and the second one was under recoil, so it dumped it low.
Yeah, yep. The
Well-
gun works good.
But it ate 2 of them, so that I'm confident it would eat a magazine full of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And they function perfectly out of that too. So why don't we get to it? Doug is downrange busting rhymes and spitting flows right now, but he is waiting for us. We're going to send some of these down. He's going to catch them in his vest. He's super excited about that. So time to get to it.
We're about, what, 10 yards?
Yeah, I'd say a good 10 yards.
Okay.
Rifled barrel
Rifled barrel, okay.
when you're ready.
Aiming at the blue tape on there.
Yep,
Okay, I'm ready.
here we go. Woo,
It said 643, that is not right.
that's not bad on the recoil.
We had a camera operator malfunction.
We got to fire the camera operators and
No, my trigger wasn't working. I forgot to test the functionality of it. Sometimes I have problems with the trigger.
well, it's good to
So anyway, we'll get the high-speed footage of this still.
so you weren't triggered. So out here I found this embedded in the Kevlar of Doug's vest after he fell over. You can see the little base of that steel ball right in there, but when you turn it over, not only do you see the typical little Kevlar fibers in there printed in the soft lead, but there's the steel ball. winking at you like a little eye.
It's a lot of lead.
Yeah, it is. And it all stayed together though. Look at that one.
Yeah, steel ball didn't cause it to go through the Kevlar or anything like that.
Yeah. And it had mild recoil, not super light, but definitely not a 12 gauge, like a 2.5 inch recoil. So that thing would be rather pleasant to shoot those if you had to.
Okay, did it hit the target where you were aiming?
So I believe this is not the same piece of blue tape here, but we had the blue tape down here centered. I peeled the slug out.
Oh.
A little bit high right, maybe.
Okay.
Could have been my pole, so we don't know.
See, the problem was I was watching the chronograph and not watching the high-speed camera.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll try and watch the crony.
Okay. Okay, I am ready whenever you are.
All right, at the blue dot below the F.
Yep.
I got 637 out of this thing again.
That is not right.
Let's take a look at the Chronos high-speed camera footage. We can see we have excellent stability and spin from that full rifled barrel. The point of impact was a little bit off from where Greg was aiming, but before we blame anyone or anything, remember that the ballistics of different slugs vary greatly from slug to slug.
I was aiming here for the blue dot. It hit a little bit high, which was just like the other one. This is an old one, don't pay attention to that. Inside here though, you can kind of see if you zoom in, it left a perfect imprint of that little steel ball bearing in there. So that's kind of cool.
Didn't go through or anything,
No,
which
not even
I didn't
close.
expect it to.
But it did make a deep, I don't know, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch deep hole. And then Jeff found this in the dirt back there about 5 yards back. And you can even see where the ball bearing was in this piece of lead as it...
You will probably see with the, I got the high-speed camera.
And you've got that
footage on that.
thermal. You've got that thermal gun. We could...
The thermal gun, yeah.
Thermal gun, the metal detector, and then the 200 by 200 foot tarp, so that we can catch all of this stuff when it falls out. So you can, but the ball bearing was in there when it bounced back out. So
Well, we might be able to see it in the high-speed footage where the ball bearing went. And
keep in mind though, good solid heavy chunk of lead for a slug to even do that much damage. I mean, if we're talking about a self-defense round here, that's some pretty significant energy transfer.
Yeah.
So I think you'll be just okay if you decide to
Okay.
take these in.
Let's see how the smoothbore works. They say that rifling makes everything better. Let's see if a smoothbore makes things worse.
All right.
See where
Makes
I'm
it
going?
worse. All right, let's give it a try.
Okay. Is it more better out of a smoothbore? Oops. More better if I don't kick the camera. And you're aiming just between the top paws there.
Yes.
Chest shot.
His paws.
Okay.
See what we can do with a smoothbore.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. Right on through him. Here we go.
Now remember, this is shot out of a smoothbore, no rifling at all, yet we have spin. Now I believe the spin is generated as the slug is traveling down the barrel. Now the fins are slanted a little bit, and they kind of act like skis. As the slug obturates into the barrel very tightly, these skis force the slug to spin a little bit mechanically. As the slug passes through the ballistic gel, we can see that the steel ball has separated from the main body of the slug. Now we also see something very important here. The gas seal is very mangled up from the shot, and it's little details like this that can screw up your accuracy. The gas seal is pushing against the back of the slug under thousands of psi, and we can see we don't have a lot of contact area at all between the gas seal and the slug. So if I were to make one suggestion, I would say use some kind of a hard fiber wad between the gas seal and the slug to spread the load out a little better. And a little inexpensive detail like this can only help.
Of course, you got to shoot at watermelon.
Of course. This one's the internet troll watermelon.
Oh, okay. Okay, again, smoothbore
Smoothbore on the nose.
on the nose. Okay, he's calling it. I'm ready.
Safety berm.
Now again, I believe the spin is generated internally inside the barrel. Jerry believes that it happens externally from the airflow going over the fins. Now regardless of that, this one was very accurate. Really happy with the results of this one. And this shows just how close they are to perfecting these things.
I have a lot of faith in Greg, but these things haven't been super accurate, so I don't know if he'll hit those little blast cloud targets. There's 3 of them there. Okay, I'm ready whenever you are.
All right, here we go.
Whoa!
We got at least 2 colors.
That was, I'm impressed, Greg.
Actually, look, we got blue, red, and pink.
Yeah.
Whoa!
And this is where it gets weird because this one has almost no spin at all on it. Extremely accurate. We're really pleased that he even hit this target. And I'll be honest with you, I thought it was going to take a couple shots, maybe even move the target a lot closer before he hit this. So this is looking really good for this design.
Okay, where are you aiming at?
I'm going to aim right for the cap of
On
the,
the
Tampico orange juice jar.
Tampico. I thought it was Tampico.
Yeah, that's what it is. Let's start an internet fight about how to pronounce Tampico.
If it's not Tapatia, it's crap.
And who do we have standing on top of the Tampico
We got
jug?
the Justin Bieber. He's gonna do a high dive for us.
Hopefully,
Maybe. Okay, take your time and hit it, man.
when you're ready.
I'm ready. Wow.
Yar.
Wow.
Now this slug hit a little bit to the left, but still a lot of energy impacting that liquid target. Now I admit we shoot some goofy targets, but we try to keep things mildly amusing for you guys.
Okay, Greg's coconut. It's a small target,
Well,
10 yards.
hopefully we can do it.
Okay, take your time.
When you're ready,
I'm ready.
here we go.
Nice. Looks like it hit the left.
Must have.
But at least it hit.
and then
It
the
only
thing-
going a little left. We are testing in California though.
All right, here comes the slug. It's kind of flying a little bit cockeyed there, and you can kind of understand why it wasn't terribly accurate in this shot. And again, we have a really good shot of the gas seal. Certainly, we're not getting a real clean separation from the wadding from the slug with something that looks like that. So improvements can be made.
Okay, since so many people on the last video where you saw Mike the Magical Welder shooting these Russian steel shells, so many people wanted to see these things reloaded. Jeff has reloaded one of our Warwolf heavy hitters into this steel/copper case.
Copper wash.
So we're going to see how it works because there might be a little bit of a gap around that.
Oh, these things, people are fascinated with the all steel or all brass shells, but they are horrible to reload because the dimensions are different than a normal 12 gauge plastic hole.
Yeah. You had to drill out that burden primer
Yeah.
and replace it with a
209.
Oh, yeah,
Box
209.
of Prima.
309, 409, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're going to see, first of all, if these light off. Second of all, if they light off and pop out the projectile.
This was a last minute yesterday thought. It's like, hey, oh, you know what? I kind of want to see that too. I want to see if we could get this Russian shell to work.
Now these Russian shells had an old school Berdan primer. The Berdan primer is a lot like a cap from a Captain Ball pistol. But we want to use a modern, reliable boxer primer. Brand new, we know it's going to work. So we had to drill out the hole to accept that 209 primer. And that wasn't too difficult at all. The next problem is the fact that the inside diameter of the all steel or all brass holes are not the same as a modern plastic hole. As you can see, we have probably 20 thousandths of an inch slop there, and that gas seal is never going to seal and that shell will never go off. So we're going to use 2 of these gas seals and wrap it with 2 wraps of electrical tape. And now we finally have a tight gas seal. Now I admit this is a goofy workaround, but this is what you got to do to make these function, or find oversized wads that are like 11 gauge. Now let's see if this funky setup works.
And take a look down here. We got a fresh piece of clearish ballistic gel. So,
See, last time they were like, oh, he's too lazy to recast it. It's like, no, I'm trying to make it last as long as I can.
Yep.
Because every time you cast it, it degrades a little tiny
and
bit.
it's a lot of dang work.
And it starts yellowing out a little bit. So it is a lot of work. It's like
We're going to send it around in there and see what kind of a wound cavity we can get from this heavy hitter round. We're going to try and capture it in Kevlar. See what it does. Let's get to it.
All right.
Ooh. Look at that. It lifted it right in there.
I don't believe it.
That thing fills up every last millimeter of that chamber.
Yeah. Now eject it. Okay. It may work.
May work. Let's try it out.
Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That almost stayed on the table. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That almost stayed on the
The
table.
Russian shell went off.
It went off. Hit a little bit low down here. It actually had some pretty decent recoil to it, quite a bit
I
more.
loaded it kind of hot.
Thanks.
It's a big
Quite a bit
shell.
more.
You need a lot of powder for that.
Great. Quite a bit more than the little minis there. Here's something unusual though. It hit the gel, and we normally see the round dive down or sometimes scoot up.
Or most of the time, they just go straight through, you know?
This one made a right turn at Albuquerque. And if you take a look over here, you see there's two interesting stories going on in here. I don't know, can you see that maybe from the top best?
Oh, my goodness.
Just so I don't have to change the angle or else
Yeah, I know.
it won't make any sense. It entered in the center and then hook a right turn. And it looks like the lead portion of it made it out the edge of this thing.
There's the gas seals, 2 gas seals.
But let me take this around and see if you can see it a little bit better.
Oh,
back
that's
there.
better.
Take a look at this. Although this is not going to be directionally accurate. First of all, I left a bunch of debris right here. Check that out.
It looks like blue electrical tape there.
Yep.
We'll talk about that.
However, look at this little skinny little mark right there. What do you guys think that is?
Ah.
I found right out here at the outside of this, sitting right here in the end of the little Kevlar fuzz, I found the steel ball bearing.
And it is just...
It came apart, and that little steel ball bearing shot through there like a little 9mm round. It's kind of cool. No expansion whatsoever, but shot a pretty straight line while the rest of its little transportation slug.
There is looks like chunks of lead in there.
Yeah.
There.
Look at that straight
The rest
line.
of it, I think, kind of missed our Kevlar and shot out a little bit to the right.
Yeah. There's your
That thing really turned though.
gas seals right there, close to the surface.
Yeah.
And some, what is that junk down there? Space junk.
Space debris.
This is where all of it exited. You can see a little tiny hole right there. That's where most of the lead shot out.
Yeah, missed our Kevlar. That's okay.
Missed our trucks, even more important.
Yeah. I missed the camera. Well, there you go. Pretty decent.
Yeah, I actually really liked them in their original tiny configuration. I know those are popular for those people who have the short little shotguns like Shockwaves and Remington TAC 14 because you can put more rounds in there. To be honest with you, for home defense reasons, this would I'd be pretty solid with this thing. They've been reliable through rifled barrels. They've been reliable through smoothbore, and they were definitely reliable. They cycled a semi-automatic perfectly, so they tended to shoot better, I think, out of the smoothbore than they did out of the rifled barrel.
Hell, I can't believe that.
Rifling makes everything better.
I know.
But overall, yeah, they're pretty impressive. For a little slug in a tiny little package, you could pack more of them into a shotgun. Keep in mind your velocity is going to be lower, but for home defense purposes, you really don't. It's really not going to affect you a whole lot. You've seen some pretty big holes out here today, and you take any one of those holes and put it into a bad guy chopping his way into
There's
your
a
front
couple
door.
big holes standing right here.
That's right. Anyway, we hope you guys liked it. It was something a little different, and we always try to give them a fair shake out here for the manufacturer so that they know whether or not they're going to be marketing something that's reliable or not. If they try to sell garbage out there, you guys are going to figure it out. So
Yeah.
we like to figure it out here first before they end up losing their shorts on selling garbage. So
Yeah.
all right, that's about all we got for you. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you guys on the next video.
Ricochet.
And last but not least, we have the footage from the high-speed camera shot. We see a lot of energy dump, so much that it threw the block of gel off the table. Yeah, the gel gets dirt all over it, but it just washes off. It's not a big deal. But we think it is important to show just how much energy the block of gel is receiving. Now the slug impacts the gel, the steel ball goes all the way through, and our slug made it almost all the way through it before it exited out the side of the block. And that's what's left of the slug. There's still a lot of pieces of lead in the block itself. Anyway, I hope the footage we got is helpful to the manufacturer. Probably will increase the velocity a bit. These things weren't running that fast. And I also hope that you, the viewer, enjoyed the video too. I want to thank our Patreon supporters. Lately we haven't been pushing the Patreon membership that much because things have improved, and we've been telling people, hey, cut back if you want or eliminate your pledge. We're doing pretty good right now this year. I think YouTube may have finally realized that they were losing billions of dollars by demonetizing everything. Now, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. We're actually pretty good at replying to comments. Unlike almost every other content creator out there, we actually value our viewers' comments and questions. Thank you.